everybody. Welcome to the Addison Sports Special. Wow, it's very cold outside, but we're going to warm you up by talking to Ed Stevenson, the Director of Golf for DuPage County, and Mike Monroe, owner of the Green Street Grill, a great place in Bensonville to have something to eat. And later on, Pam Hamill will join us. She's from the Addison Park District. But right now, here's Ed and Mike. Hey, Ed,
hello,
nice seeing you.
Always good, Don.
We're going to get a show, the Ed and Mike show, you know.
It wouldn't be very popular.
Oh, you don't.
No, I don't think so.
That would steal the show. But actually, guys, your friendship, you know, how did that come about? From the Dome or from golfing?
Well,
Mike,
we go way back. I mean, when Ed was a lad, he was working over at the Elmhurst Country Club.
Okay.
And I think before that, and I didn't know Ed at the time, I was a bartender at Elmhurst Country Club while I was going to college. But I did get to play a lot of golf out there, and Mike Burrows hired him probably in, what, 19...
It was the mid-'90s, and, you know, certainly at that point we knew Elmhurst Country Club became Oak Meadows here in Addison.
Right.
What I found out quickly, Don, is I met more and more people from the Chicago area, the Chicago golf community, and particularly here in the western suburbs. This name Mike Monroe kept coming up. I heard about the famous White Pines Golf Dome, and what I realized, the Chicago area has 200 courses.
200? Is that
more than 200?
Sure.
And
Yeah.
yet during the winter, people from all those courses came to one place, and it was the White Pines Golf Dome. So if you wanted to know someone, it was Mike Monroe. And shortly after I met Mike, realized, yeah, we would have a friendship for a long time.
Is that right?
I think it's just from loving golf in this community.
Of course.
Exactly.
You know, speaking of the Dome, Mike, where is it? What happened to that Dome? Where are all
Don,
the heaters and all? Where is all that stuff?
Well, it's in a landfill right now, Don. Unfortunately.
Really?
I sold it to a company who I thought would take care of it and keep it going for like 30 years.
Yeah.
So I operated it for 24 years. I sold it to them. I think they operated it for 4 years, and then after 4 years, they said, you know what? We're maybe not making enough money or what have you, so they decided not to keep it going. So about 4 years ago, it closed up, and quite honestly, it was near and dear to my heart. I feel bad about it. I go to the Links and Tees Dome quite a bit now, and I see a lot of good friends there. But
of course.
But yeah, no, it closed up. It was a happening place, Don, as you know. I mean, you would go over there.
It really was.
Yeah.
What come to mind, though, Ed, is couldn't you? No, I don't. You know, by not Oak Meadows, but
Sure.
the
Preserve at Oak Meadows?
Preserve.
Yeah.
Couldn't you put where the practice tee is, you know, going north, couldn't you put a dome if you wanted to? Couldn't you put one there? It's got to be a money maker, I would think.
Well, I think one of the things that Mike's probably too humble to admit, but you know, and a lot of people looked at the dome and said, wow, this must be easy. This must be just a license to print money because it was such a popular place.
Yeah.
The truth is, there's a lot of intricacies to running a dome and running it successfully. And in the early era of golf domes throughout the country, most went out of business. They didn't thrive like Mike's did.
No doubt.
It takes the right piece of land. It takes a lot of engineering. The land has to be very level.
Wow,
a lot of the conditions need to be right. After that, it takes some operational expertise to make sure that overall you're keeping it in top shape and that you're treating people well to keep them coming back.
They're expensive, Dan. A new dome right now would probably cost about $2.5 million.
No, that much?
Yeah, it's expensive. And then we had heating bills, as crazy as it sounds, but we had heating bills of $30,000 a month.
A month.
So
no wonder why. Yeah, I'm sure you brought that to the board. And
that's a lot of range balls.
Yeah, sure. Okay, now Ed, last year events. Bring us up to date on that, and then what's coming up in 34 or 24.
Yeah, so, you know, it was a great year last year. I think golfers throughout the Addison area and the suburbs enjoyed what overall was pretty good weather. At the Preserve at Oak Meadows, we had, I think, two things that stand out as highlights amongst a lot of great events. we had our own DuPage Amateur Championship, which years ago, that was something that Mike always competed in, and part of how we got to know each other.
Oh, okay.
And
DuPage Amateur, okay.
So that's always fun because it's a special place for us because it's our own event.
Yeah.
But we also have done events with the Chicago District Golf Association, the USGA, and last year the Illinois PGA brought the Senior Illinois Open out to the preserve at Oak Meadows.
Wow.
And we saw the University of Illinois men's coach Mike Small defend his championship there. So back-to-back
did he
years,
win it last year?
Yeah.
Mike Small, who has the biggest trophy case in the world, he seems to win everything, it played and in dramatic fashion defended his title. So honored to be part of a state championship right here in Addison, and I think that was a real highlight last year.
Oh,
and,
okay.
You know, as we look ahead to the year to come, you know, we're pretty excited really about our plans at Maple Meadows. You know, right next door to the preserve at Oak Meadows, we've got our Maple Meadows golf course. It used to be the Brookwood Country Club.
All right, okay, you're right,
It
okay.
was last renovated more than 25 years ago, and we've been unveiling a new master plan to go and redo that golf course.
Really?
The work won't start for 2 years, Don, so I guess it's really not until 2026, but the public's going to learn more and more about our plans to update that course, make it more challenging for the good golfer, more fun for the less accomplished golfer, and make it continue to be hopefully a place golfers really enjoy for the decades ahead.
All right, don't let the seniors out, though. You got to.
We love the seniors coming out, but we want the seniors to have fun. So we're going to have a whole bunch of different tee options, Don, where if you're really a highly competitive golfer, you can play it long. And if you're someone who wants to just go out and have a little more fun, maybe you don't hit it as far, there's a set of tees for you, too.
Mm-hmm. Mike, you play the preserve, do you not?
Yeah, I play the preserve probably 4 or 5 times a year, Don. It's one of my favorite courses in Chicago.
Do you do the up? Well, no.
Well,
I mean, how many
you know
sets
what?
of
I
tees?
usually play the blue tees, and the blue tees are the second from back tees.
Oh, is
So
that
for a guy who's now a senior, it gives me plenty of challenge.
Oh, good.
And it's it's long enough, but it's very tight. If you don't hit the drives in the right spots, I mean, you can find yourself in some incredibly difficult second shots. But yeah, I love the course. It's probably my favorite public fee course in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And Mike still is pretty darn competitive, Don. You know, we played early in the year in the spring, and this gentleman right here was awfully close coming down the home stretch to shooting his age, which is a accomplishment.
5 under.
Yeah.
But I don't do that very often.
Pretty good accomplishment.
Mike, what was the story you tell about one of the guys? It was a picture of you, in one of by the dome there, and it's a story you tell about one of the pros or something that played somewhere, and was it Sanders? Was it?
Oh, Don, this is
What
before
picture
the
was that?
dome. Yeah, I mean, we're going back to when I was 13 years old.
Yeah, okay.
And White Pines just got acquired by the Bentonville Park District, and God bless the Bentonville Park District,
Yeah.
because that was one of the greatest things any park district has ever done to get a 36-hole golf course.
Yeah.
That was going to go belly up. So they acquired the golf course, and as a part of that deal, they said, hey, let's bring a couple of top-name golf professionals out. So they brought Doug Sanders,
Okay.
who almost won the British Open, should have won the British Open,
Sure.
and Tom Shaw, who at the time was one of the best golf professionals in the country.
Sure.
So they brought those 2 guys out. I was a caddy for one of the players that played in the foursome with Doug Sanders, and that guy was Marty Joyce.
Oh, is that
and
right?
Marty, it was like 19 at the time. I was, like 13. And, to this day, it was one of the coolest things I ever did. Watching Doug Sanders, he was having a couple of cocktails out there and having a good time.
Is that right?
And he shot 67.
Whoa.
Like a walk in the park, right?
Walk in the park. And then somebody said, hey, and there's a water hole down there that was like, it was about 330 yards to the water, and then the green was another 80 yards.
He asked you how far.
They said, hey, can you hit that water down there? Doug asked if he could hit that water at 330 yards, 320 yards away.
They said no way.
No
right?
way. No way can you do it. So he gets up there, hits the drive, sure enough, it goes in the water. So he probably would have shot 66 if somebody had given him some good advice.
Sorry, I love that story. We're going to talk about Marty Joyce, too. Mike, should we Well, no, we'll go on for another minute or two. Then we're going to talk about Marty Joyce.
Okay.
But Eddie, what's coming up now in springtime? Is there a definite date you open, or how do you do it with staff and all that? How does that work?
Sure, everyone's pretty excited to get things started, and usually Mother Nature lets us get going about April 1st. So
Okay.
April 1st is that target, and if it warms up any earlier, we will. But we're already real busy right now, Don. The staff is getting all kinds of inquiries about permanent tee times. Of course, people are asking about golf outings and leagues, and thanks for asking. We do, for our golf courses, which include Maple Meadows, the Preserve at Oak Meadows, and our 9-hole Green Meadows in Westmont, we have a program called DuPage Plus, and it's our version of a membership program where folks can come in, they make a bit of a deposit with us, and by making that deposit, they get all kinds of benefits. They get access to discounted greens fees, they can book their tee times a little earlier, and they get discounts in the pro shops. So if somebody's really looking for a chance to make not just one course, but 3 courses their home course for the summer ahead, we encourage them to check out the DuPage Plus program. It's all the details are on our website, DuPageGolf.com.
Okay. Well, here, folks, here's a picture. Here's a picture of Marty Joyce, okay? Marty was a terrific golfer. Mike, why don't you tell the folks about Marty,
Yeah, I mean, Marty's a longtime friend. When I first opened up the Dome back in 1991, the first guy I brought in was Marty Joyce. He was the teacher of the year in 1987, gave more lessons than anybody I know.
Is that right?
And was obviously a great teacher, knew a ton of people. So when I brought him in to the Dome, he brought a lot of people. But
Sure.
I mean, a couple of things that I wanted to mention about Marty, besides being teacher of the year, he won 97 long drive championships.
97?
Back in 97. Back in 1997, this is with Balata heads or Balata golf balls and wooden heads.
Yeah.
The guy hit it 390 yards in the long drive championship in 1997. 1998 in a competition, he hit it 443 yards.
Wow.
Obviously, he was an incredibly talented long drive artist, but he also did a great trick shot show. And he and I, and this was one of the highlights of my life, about 20 years ago, we went to the World Scientific Congress of Golf at St. Andrews, and he did a show in front of people who were very, very well known in the golf industry, did a knockout job, and it was just one of the coolest things that I had ever witnessed. He's talking to people who had these great backgrounds. They designed clubs. They were tremendous teachers, etc. So he's in front of 150, 200 people doing this trick shot show. And then afterwards, there was an event afterwards, and he gave a presentation then that was just to die for. So Marty
Lost a legend.
Lost a legend. He was an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, his daughter Lisa, tell her I said hi, okay?
Yeah, I'll talk to Lisa probably tomorrow.
Marty Longball Joyce.
Yeah, Ed, thanks for
Don.
coming on.
Okay.
Mike, thanks.
Don.
All right, folks, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're here with Pam Hamill. Pam, nice to see you. And Big Dan Hernandez. Big Dan, how you doing? Look at the size of this guy. Played a little football, did you?
Yep.
Tell the folks a little bit about that, your background, Danny, how you got to where you're at right now.
Yeah, grew up in South Florida, played Division II football in college,
Wow, good
played
for you.
defensive line in college, went to Upper Iowa University, small school in the cornfields, so went from the beaches to the cornfields of Iowa, so it was a great opportunity, had a blast, and then after that, worked in college football for quite a bit. As a coach, administrator, and in the NFL is with a few teams as well. So, So yeah.
Now, what are your duties at the park there? What Pam got you doing?
Yeah. So my role is, as you know, is to help advance and create new programming for our community, for starting with our youth, adolescents to middle schoolers and potentially high schoolers as well. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that about your pickleball thing and other stuff too.
Okay.
Pam, the background last year, some of the success that you had. Tell the folks kind of a review on what went on at the Park District.
Gotcha. So we had some new programs. One of them is our travel baseball, which Dan can get into a little bit more later.
Okay.
So that was a huge success. Always have great participation with our soccer. And then our special events, everything from movie in the park to our first cancer run. Our POW to Cancer. I know you were in that, which was really nice.
That was fun. You're going to do it again this year?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good.
Same weekend. To our Valentine's Dance was a huge success. That's coming back up this February 9th.
Oh,
And,
okay. Get that, folks, February 9th now. It's coming up pretty quick.
Park Pride's coming back. And just our core key ones, like Breakfast with Santa, the Easter Bunny Breakfast, and we're going to do our first ever free Easter egg hunt. So that's going to be really nice. First, I should say first free since COVID.
Oh,
so that'll
okay.
be really nice.
Did you say the Santa Express? Did you do that?
We did the Polar Express.
Polar
Yeah,
Express.
Dan was with me.
Yeah, yeah, that was a fantastic event. I think we, over 2 weekends, we had quite a bit of, families from the community had a good experience and got a chance to see Santa.
Oh,
and,
great, yeah.
How
was the weather? Was it not?
Yeah, it was fine.
Wasn't below zero like it is now.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were
okay.
lucky.
Yeah. How about kissing? I keep saying kiss a truck, but it's not that.
Touch a truck.
You
Yes.
touch the truck.
Yeah, coming up
Yes.
soon. Coming up soon. It's in the works. That'll be a program that comes back around. So you'll see information about that coming soon.
Yeah. How does that work? A bunch of fire trucks in the parking lot?
Yeah, usually it's usually you get your utility, your specialized utility vehicles that are either with the police department, fire department, what have you. Maybe some special cars that maybe the Batmobile might show up. You never know.
Really?
Yeah. I'm talking the original
kind of
now.
mix it up.
The original, So that'd be some. That would be the key. Items for that event, and obviously focus towards family and kids, and get a chance to see some of those unique cars, right?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
vehicles. Yeah,
The kids love that. They can get in them and so
It's
on.
the whole wow. It's like the magic. Like things, like we might think a concrete truck isn't exciting, but to someone that's this tall, they think it's magical.
It is very.
It's neat, and they love the honking the horn,
Oh, yeah.
and everybody takes photos, and it's amazing.
What about a Valentine's dance now?
Yep.
Party.
Yeah.
Oh, you
So-
call a dance party.
Yeah, it's a dance
that's what
party.
you
There'll be a
call it.
DJ there. There'll be a DJ this year, which will be a new feature for us. But Pam, what else with the Valentine's dance? You feel like?
Well, with the DJ,
Yeah.
we're going to do your favorites like the chicken dance,
Oh, okay.
the hokey pokey, the Macarena. This is an event that's really geared toward families and
Yeah.
little ones. So if you want to make it daddy-daughter, great. If you want to bring the whole family, great. If you want to do mother-son, great.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
We're
Yeah.
welcoming everyone, and it does include dinner. As we mentioned earlier,
Oh,
the
that's
DJ.
right. How much? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
you
it's-
have a price on that?
15 per person resident, and then
Okay.
for non-residents, it's 20 a ticket.
Now, what about your pickleball? Spring Fling, April 27th, the tournament, right?
Yeah,
Sandy?
so we have 2 large pickleball tournaments coming up. One in February, Winter Blues, and then we have another one in April, which will be our Spring Fling. It's a huge event for us. I don't know if you know this, we are the unofficial capital pickleball community in the country. We are the top. I don't know if
Really?
It's really cool, yeah.
I'm making that up. Unofficial.
It's big though. It's a big program.
We have a huge
Isn't that-
following.
isn't
We have a
that-
huge following.
Okay, isn't that something? A couple
yeah.
years ago, would you think someone said pickleball is going to be big? You go,
Yeah.
what? What is it?
Yeah.
Would you? It's amazing how
Yeah.
it mushroomed so big.
Yeah.
And my wife gives it down, but I said, I'm a tennis guy.
Sure.
I mean, to me, it's like. It's a knock on, no, not really, but you know what I mean? We should be playing tennis, not pickleball.
Sure, sure. But it's a huge following for us, and those tournaments will be. We're working with Wilson, which is a Chicagoland organization, to back some of our sponsoring there and get involved with what we're doing. To have a presence.
Is there a fee charged with that, Dan?
Yeah, there's
usually?
a fee. It'll be associated on our website because there's individuals or singles, right? And then there'll be team team
yeah.
tournaments as well.
Okay.
So you'll check our website; those fees and those details will be on there. So
You know, maybe we can get a camera out there and
That'd be awesome.
yeah,
And
maybe the
super cool
finals or
prizes.
whatever.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know, we can do
That'd be
that. Let me
awesome.
know
Yeah.
when the last match is.
Oh, yeah.
let's
Okay.
say. And maybe we can get a camera out there.
That'd be
if we could
awesome.
talk Don into letting me have a camera, right?
right.
And then, well, of course, soccer popular too, right, Danny?
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah, soccer registration's up and started already. That'll happen, towards April, right, to when we get to the springtime. But it's a huge following for us, and we're looking to duplicate that this year as well. So registration's already open, and again, we hope for another successful season as well there in the soccer part. Yeah.
Pam, what about summer and spring now? When's the brochures coming out?
So spring brochure will come out end of February, and then summer we're looking at end of April. And that, of course, has about all of our programs and our events.
Yeah, okay. We got about 2 minutes. Why, Danny, why should people join these events that you have?
Yeah, I'd say, they're inclusive, right? They include everyone from most ages, right? And I'd say our pickleball would be the prime example of that,
Yeah,
right? We have seniors in that group, and we have teens in those groups as well. 18, from 18 and up, right? So it's a good melting pot and brings the community together. And obviously, it's fun and competitive, right? And so those would be the key things that I think stand out, especially with our pickleball program.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Pam, you're in for the folks watching out there.
Yeah.
How can they get involved in activities at the Park District?
You can always find the information at addisonparks.org. We've got 3 locations. We've got Community Center, which you can drop by to get information, Club Fitness, as well as the Golf Dome. But the website's probably the easiest and the quickest.
Okay, good. Pam, nice seeing you.
Don,
Danny,
excuse me,
nice meeting
don't change your dial, don't touch your dial. This is a very special evening here. Come on in, guys. Here on Addison Community Television, we want to wish Don Figarelli, the host of the Addison Sports
Holy
Special,
cow. Whoa,
happy birthday this week.
Do I have to say what it is?
Is it 60? Is it 60, Don? I forgot.
Yeah.
So maybe you
at
can do
least
this, and if you want to join in at home, happy birthday
Oh, you guys are great.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Don.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow. Thanks, you guys. Wow.
Congratulations, Don. And that's from your bride, Julie.
Oh,
and
really?
your family who came by earlier to the studio to drop this off and make sure that we celebrated
Holy
your
moly.
birthday in style. Happy birthday,
All
Don.
right, thanks an awful lot.
You are absolutely welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
And now you can close your show, Don.
Thanks for watching the show, folks. We'll talk to you next week. Take care now.
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise.